Everyone done? Am I audible, students?
Yes, ma'am.
teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
So we will be doing measures to reduce revenue deficit. Obviously, you took loan from someone, like deficit is always a problem. Now you have to reduce it. Now you have to overcome from that deficit. So basically, there are two measures. First, to reduce public expenditure, and second, to increase revenue. See, what happened? Just a minute. So basically, what was revenue deficit? Basically, for example, you were getting 100 rupees, right? And your budget was, your revenue deficit, your revenue was of 100 rupees, but you somehow spent it 110 rupees. So this was some extra which you wasted. Okay. So now you are a government right now. Okay. So now you want money. So basically, what will happen if public will be, for example, I am the government. Okay. So if public will spend more money, right, only then you will be getting extra money. Or basically what you can do, there are some other way to increase your revenue. Okay. So basically, if public will spend their money more, then I can reduce my revenue deficit. Or the other way is, I have to find some alternative way to increase my revenue. Okay. So first is measures to reduce public expenditure. Whatever I am public will be spending more, so what I have to do, whatever money I'm spending on public, I have to reduce that. Okay. Getting my point? Everyone?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, there are two things. For example, I'm just again, I think I have, merged two things together. So I'll just explain it again. See, first thing is that you have to increase revenue. How revenue will be increased? Of course, when public, you people, for example, earlier I was selling this chocolate for 10 rupees. So public was spending 10 rupees, right? But now, because I am in a trouble, so what I will do, I will increase the prices that I told you in the previous class, inflation, right? So now it is of 20 rupees. So basically now what public will be spending more, right? And because of that, my revenue will be increased, right? Earlier I was getting 10 rupees, now public will be spending more. Now I will get 20 rupees. So my revenue will be more, right? So this was the for revenue. Now, measure to reduce public expenditure. Now what is this? See, what government do? Government always spend money on public, right? For example, I have to construct a school. I have to construct the public toilets. I have to construct school, public toilet, hospital, all this. Okay. So earlier I was spending 100 rupees on all this, but now I have less money. So what I will do, I will say, okay, I will not construct this portion. I'll just only construct schools and public toilet. Okay. So I said, okay, so I'll be using my money. And for example, the construction was for this was for 80 rupees. So what I said, I just saved my 20 rupees, right? So basically two things: measure to reduce public expenditure, and whatever money I was spending on public, I will reduce it. Okay, as a government. Plus, I'll do lots of things to increase my revenue. Okay. So now A is this, B is this. So how I can reduce public expenditure? A drastic reduction in wasteful expenditure. What government do? Government provides subsidies, right? Subsidies is, for example, someone is getting this chocolate for 10 rupees. Okay. There are lots of poor people who are unable to, purchase a 10 rupees chocolate. So what government do for them? Government will be selling this chocolate for 5 rupees. That means they are giving subsidies on the chocolate for the poor people, right? So they will be reducing the price. This is for 10 rupees, 5 rupees government will be giving, and 5 rupees the people will be giving. Okay, so when someone will go to the shop and they'll say that we have this card for subsidy, so the shopkeeper will be giving them the chocolate for 5 rupees. So this is subsidy. But now, right now, what I am in problem itself, I have already spent lots of money, so I need to reduce my expenditure. Whatever money I'm spending on public, I have to reduce that. So what I will say, I will reduce the wasteful expenditure subsidies. I will reduce the subsidies. For example, earlier I was giving you subsidies of 5 rupees. Now I will say I will only give you, now this chocolate will be for 8 rupees. I said I will only give you subsidies of 2 rupees. Okay, everyone getting this point? Subsidy is basically giving poor people any product in cheaper price. That is known as subsidy. Okay, for example, the chocolate was 10 rupees. I was giving you for 5 rupees. So I was giving you subsidies of 5 rupees. But now I am giving you the chocolate of 8 rupees. So I am giving you the subsidies of 2 rupees. Okay, 2 rupees I will be paying. Okay, so what government will do? Government will reduce it. Earlier government was giving 5 rupees subsidy, but now government will be giving 2 rupees subsidy. Because I am already in trouble. Don't have any money. So I will do this. And by curtailing non-plan expenditure, non-plan expenditure are basically, for example, there is a calamity, natural calamity, earthquake, anything over there. So curtailing means reducing. So earlier I was giving 100 rupees to each person who is the victim of that disaster. But now earlier I was giving 100 rupees. What I will do, I will now give you 10 rupees, 20 rupees, like that, because I don't have money right now. So from where I will give you. Okay. So these are the few points. And now measure to increase revenue. Now government want to increase revenue. So what they will do? They will increase tax rate and they will impose new tax. Earlier you were giving me 10 rupees as a tax, but now I increase your tax and I impose some new tax as well, right? And then public should be made increase income from the public sector. So they will try to make income from the public sector. So public sector always give money to people, government, as a form of tax, as a form of compensation, like that. So they will try to increase their these things, right? That they pay tax. So for example, I'm earning 2 lakh rupees a year or a month, so I have to pay tax. So what I will do as a government, what I'll do, I'll increase that. Okay. And tax invasion should be controlled. Tax invasion is most of the people don't pay tax. That is tax invasion. They are trying to escape from the tax. They are trying to not pay tax. So tax invasion should be controlled. There are lots of people who try to skip this part, like paying tax part. They want to skip it, or they somehow just ignore it. So that is tax invasion. So that have to be controlled, because if no everyone will try to escape from this tax paying part, then who will pay tax, and from where I'll get money? So what I will do, I will be controlling this tax evasion. Okay, clear everyone?
Yes, teacher.
Others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So basically what I was trying to tell you people, that if you want to reduce revenue deficit, first you have to reduce whatever. You are a government right now. Consider yourself a government. You don't have money. Your budget was 100 rupees, but you somehow spend it 110 rupees. So you have nothing right now. So basically first you will, whatever money you are spending on public as a government, of course you are spending money on hospitals or education, all that. So you have to reduce that. Okay. And you have to how you will be reducing them? Of course by reducing subsidies and by reducing non-plan expenditure. Okay. And next, you have to increase your revenue. You want more money to come to you. So what you will do, you will be increasing tax rate, plus you will be imposing some new tax as well, and you will be trying to take money from the public sector enterprises. Okay. And tax invasion, those persons who were trying to skip earlier, 80% of the people were trying to escape from this tax paying thing. So now you impose very strict rule that nobody will be escaped from this thing. So tax invasion was controlled. So these three things you have to do in order to increase your revenue. Okay, so you can write it down.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, others?
Yes, ma'am, done.
Good. Okay. Now basically we will.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
1 second. Could you show me that,
Yeah.
sir? Okay, ma'am. You can move on.
Okay. Now, students, basically we are moving to fiscal deficit. So, what you will be writing for fiscal deficit, the definition will be that difference between total expenditure and total receipts, excluding borrowing, is known as fiscal deficit. Okay. So, everyone will be writing this. Then I'll be explaining you these two formula. Actually, the formula is this, but I'll just tell you, you know this, but just to give a recap. Just write the definition, the difference between total expenditure and total receipt, and then you will be writing excluding borrowing is known as fiscal deficit. Just mention one more thing, the difference between total expenditure and total receipt, excluding borrowing during the given fiscal year, because this is fiscal deficit, right? So during a given year or during a given financial year or a fiscal year is known as fiscal deficit.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Others? So now this formula is total expenditure minus total receipt. Okay, so you know expenditure is of two types, right? Revenue and the capital. So what is, I just expanded this formula. Okay, so basically this is revenue expenditure plus capital expenditure. And you know total receipt is of two types, revenue receipt and the capital receipt. Right. So this was the basically the expended one. Instead of writing total expenditure, they have written revenue expenditure plus capital expenditure. And instead of writing total receipt, they have written revenue receipt and the capital receipt. Okay, so basically if you want to write this, you can write this, because in exam hall, maybe instead of giving total expenditure, they can give you revenue expenditure, uh, like different value for revenue expenditure and different value for capital expenditure, and same with this. So just write this. This is the expended one. Okay, just write it down quickly.
Done, ma'am.
Others?
Done, ma'am.
I hope everyone is done.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now quickly we will move to implications. Okay, these implications are very important because in exam hall there are high chances out of these three they'll be asking you questions related to fiscal deficit. Okay, the first implication is debt trap. Okay, now you know fiscal deficit. What is fiscal deficit? Basically whatever you are spending, okay, and whatever your receipts are, like whatever you're getting and your expenditure is always more than that, right? So that is a fiscal deficit. Okay, now first thing is debt trap. The story is same, that for example my receipt was 100 rupees, but somewhere I spent it 110 rupees, so this 10 rupees is extra one. So what first implication is debt trap. For example, what happened, just listen to this debt trap question very carefully because there are high chances they will be asking you about this debt trap. Okay, debt is basically taking, for example, I took 10 rupees. See, my expenditure was 110, but the money I had was 100 rupees. So 10 rupees was something extra. So somewhere maybe I took money from Mohammed Dayan. Okay, I took money. So basically that is debt. Something I have borrowed, I have to pay him. Okay, that is debt. Okay, so what happens sometimes? For example, I took 10 rupees from Mohammed, right? And he gave me 10 rupees. And what happened? I promised him that next month I'll be giving him back this money. So he said, okay, ma'am, you can give me this. So what happened next month? Somewhere I was unable to do so. So what I said, I asked Khushi. This is Khushi. I asked Khushi, can you please give me 10 rupees? I have to pay it to Mohammed. So she said, okay, ma'am, take it. So she gave me 10 rupees and this is what I paid to Mohammed Ayan. Okay. And now again, next month I promised Khushi that I'll be paying you. But again, somewhere I was unable to pay. I took money from Heba. Okay. And then I gave it to Khushi. So what is this? This is a trap. You are unable to come out from this. This is a trap. You know, there is a rat trap in the house. Rat trap is basically this. If the mouse will be entering over here and somewhere he will be trapped. That because of that cheese or because of that some piece of nuts or something, he came in the box, but somewhere he got trapped over there. It is unable for him to go out. Similarly, this is a debt trap. See, this is a cycle going on, right? And I am trapped. For paying the money, I have to take money from someone else. For paying his money, then I have to take money from someone else. For paying that person money, I have to take money. This is a trap. Okay, so why this happened? When we have a fiscal deficit, like of course deficit is always a bad point, right? So what happened? Fiscal deficit refers to total borrowing requirement of the government. Now what happened? You just don't have to write this. Just a minute. One important thing I missed. I'll just explain. Okay. Sometimes, for example, what happened? This is excluding borrowing, right? You are not including borrowing over here. Okay. For example, receipt is getting money. But if you are taking money from someone else, that will be not included in receipt over here. That's why I have written here excluding borrowing. Okay. So basically what happened? For example, your expenditure is 110 rupees, right? And receipt you got was 50 rupees, right? So basically you will be subtracting it. So how much it is? Can anyone tell me? How much is it? 60, right? So 60 is something which I need to borrow because this is a deficit. So I need to borrow. Okay, so fiscal deficit refers to total borrowing requirement of the government. Like how much money government needs to borrow in order to clear this fiscal deficit. That is known as. So what happened? Borrowing creates problem of repayment of loan. See, if you are borrowing money, then you have to repay it. For example, I took money from Mohammed and I promised him that I'll be giving you back your money by next month, right? So borrowing, when you borrow something, they create the problem of repayment of loans and also a regular interest payment. And nobody is going to give you loan free of cost. They will be adding interest over there. Maybe I took money from Mohammed. He said, okay, ma'am, I'm giving you 10 rupees, but you have to pay 10% tax over this. So maybe I have to pay him 15 rupees. Okay. So, and regular interest payment. Interest payment increase the revenue expenditure, which leads to revenue deficit. So basically what happens, see, I'm just again giving you an example because debt trap is very much important. Okay. Now listen to it very carefully. For example, this is Mohammed Ayan. I took 10 rupees from Mohammed Ayan. Okay, so he said, okay, ma'am, take it, but you have to pay me. When you will be returning me, you have to pay me 2 rupees as an interest. So you have to pay me 12 rupees. Now what happened? Next month my salary came, I got 10 rupees. Okay. So what happened? Basically, it was I spent 8 rupees. I had only 2 rupees left with me. Right. So again, what happened? I asked Kushi for the 10 rupees. So this is what happened. It is a trap. I was unable to pay him. I took money from somewhere else and plus the interest. So basically, interest rate increases the revenue expenditure. Okay, which leads to revenue deficit. Right. The government resort to further borrowing to repay the earlier loan. The country is caught in the debt trap. So what happened? Government is it become compulsory for the government to borrow to pay the earlier loan. See, I took loan from Kushi. Why? Because I have to pay loan of Mohammed Ayan. Then again I took a loan from Heba because I have to pay the money of Kushi. Right. So basically, this is what happens. They keep on taking money in order to pay someone else's money. Right. Someone else's loan. So that's why the country got trapped in the debt trap. Okay. So I'm just explaining you again that fiscal deficit means how much money government need, right? How much money government need as a borrowing, right, to cover this fiscal deficit. So borrowing always create a problem of repayment of loan. Once you are borrowing something, of course you have to repay it. Okay, and regular interest payment, right? So interest payment increase the revenue expenditure, which leads to revenue deficit. The government resort to further borrowing to repay the earlier loan. The countries get caught into the debt trap. Clear, everyone?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope this trap one is clear. That see, what I'm taking money from someone else in order to pay my earlier loan. So that is a trap. Again and again, I'll be taking money. Again and again, I'll be taking money. So that is a debt trap. So because of fiscal deficit, we face the problem of debt trap. Okay. So you can write it down. Everyone done?
Yes, ma'am.
Others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now basically we'll
Ma'am,
go.
1 minute.
Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Now next point is foreign dependence. Okay, everyone will be writing this in points. First debt trap, what is debt trap, we all know, and this foreign dependence. Now what happened? For example, just a minute. For example, this is a country. Okay, the government is running the country, and somewhere they expended a lot, and because of that they have to take money. So what happened? From whom they will be taking money? In a country they don't have money because they are the government. From whom they'll be taking money? They'll be taking money from some other country. Maybe I'm India, so I'll be taking money from Australia. Maybe I'm taking money from USA. Maybe I'm taking money from like Russia. Anyone. Okay. So what happened? Foreign dependence increase. So government also borrow from rest of the world. Rest of the world is basically, this is in the world. Rest of the world means I'm the world. I'm the like country in the world. Rest of the world means apart from my country, other people are rest of the world. Okay, so apart from India, if I'm an Indian, apart from India, any other country, China, Russia, these countries are rest of the world. If you are part of Australia, if you are an Australian, so India, China, Bangladesh, any other country is rest of the world. Okay, for example, teachers say amos, rest of the for example, amos is done writing, so I'll be saying rest of the student. Then apart from amos, rest of the student. Okay, so that is rest of the world. Okay, so which is associated with economic interference by lending countries. But how, now what happened? They will lend money. See, there are two things. Borrowing is taking money. Lend money is basically giving money. Okay, so lending money. Okay, so basically what happened? Government also borrows from rest of the world. Okay, sometimes government will be taking money from central bank, right? But somewhere if central banks are unable to do so, they'll be taking money from the rest of the world, which is associated with economic interference by lending companies. So how they get in connection of how our economic relation like takes place, they will give us money, and sometimes we will be giving them money. So this is our economic relation, right? It causes economic slavery. Economic slavery is, for that happen. For example, you have given me money, so I will be always your slave. Slave in the sense, I'll be respecting you, I cannot say anything wrong to you. Whatever you are doing, I'll be accepting it, right? Because you have given your money, and you can ask that money for any time. So I will be like, it causes economic slavery if the lending country dictates in terms of borrowing countries. Okay, now sorry, dictates. It causes economic slavery if the lending country dictates its terms on the borrowing country. Now, what happened? For example, I am giving you money. So I'll be saying, okay, I have given you money. From tomorrow onward, you will be doing my homework. So now you are my slave, right? I'm dictating. Dictating is basically I'm ruling over you. Dictating is ruling. Okay. So lending country. If the lending country means, that's why you, so who will be taking money, that will be a borrowing country. But the country who will be giving money will be the lending country. Clear? Lending and borrowing country clear? Lending one is basically who is giving. Borrowing one is who is taking. So over here we are talking about India. So India is taking and Australia is giving. So India is borrowing company and Australia is lending country, right? Dictates a term of borrowing country. Okay, so basically what I am doing, I am leading you. I am ruling over you, right? And you will be, because of that, you will be my slave. So see, foreign, I am taking money only, then you are becoming this, na? If you would have not taken money from me, so I would have never dictated you. I would have never made you my slave. But since you are taking money from me, so it causes economic slavery. It's not compulsory, not everyone dictates, but if the lending country decides to be a dictator. Only then that will cause economic slavery. It's not compulsory. It's not like usually it doesn't happen, but sometimes it can be, because I have given you money, I can show my power that from tomorrow you'll be doing my homework, you'll be doing this, that. That is my terms and conditions. Clear, everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
ma'am.
Okay. So again, so what happened? Government also borrows from rest of the world, which associated with economic interference by lending countries. So if I'm taking money, only then our economic relationship will be there. Okay. And because of that, sometimes what happens? Economic slavery takes place. When it takes place, when lending company decides to dictate. Okay. And that country will be dictating on borrowing country. Right. So you can write it.
Done, ma'am.
Others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just quickly move to next point. Okay. So basically our next point is cause inflation. Everybody knows what is inflation, rising in price. So what happens? See, I am in problem. I am the government. Okay, so basically what will happen? I will try to, increase the price. Why? Because I need money. Only you people are the source that I can take money. So what happened? The government resort to borrowing from RBI. See, the very first thing is that government can borrow from two people, RBI, the central bank, or from rest of the world. So what happened? The government resort to borrowing from RBI to meet the fiscal deficit. See, I am in problem. I have already created this deficit. So in order to meet up, in order to cover this fiscal deficit, I will go to RBI that I need 10 rupees of loan because my revenue was 100 rupees and I spent it 110. Okay. So it is done by deficit financing. This increases the circulation of money in the economy and creates inflationary pressure if there is an excess money, supply of money. So what happened? Basically, just remember one thing. RBI will be giving money and money will be coming to RBI through whom? Basically, what people will be depositing, only then the person that will be coming to RBI, right? So what happened? Basically, this increases the circulation of money in an economy. What RBI will be doing? RBI will be giving money to commercial bank. Okay, this is the money. So what will happen? somehow the money will be coming into circulation, right? So in the economy now, if there is circulation, lots of money is there. So basically what happened, people will be demanding lot. Now you must be wondering, ma'am, that RBI will be giving money to the government, but how the money will be coming to economy, right? So I'll just tell you. For example, just a minute. See, what happened basically, this was government, right? This was the budget, that 100 rupees you will be spending, right? So I was about to construct a school, a hospital, and maybe a bank. Okay, these three things: school, hospital, and bank. Okay, so now what happened, I already spent 110 rupees, right? 110 rupees I have already spent it. I need these 10 rupees, right? So what happened, RBI gave these 10 rupees. What government do? Government don't take the money. This 10 rupees is given. Why? Because government will be giving these people the money. Maybe I'll be giving this money to the builder, the one who is making a bank, who is constructing a bank, one who is constructing hospital or the school, right? So somewhere I gave them the money. This money also will be given to these people in the economy, because they will be constructing it. Of course government will be giving it, but somewhere they are the common people like us, like the public. So somewhere, for example, this person got 10 rupees, he will be spending money, so somewhere money will be there, right? What happened, for example, this is government, this is other person, this is other person. So what happened, government got 100 rupees, right? So out of 100 rupees, government gave 50 rupees to this person to construct a school, right? So the this was what happened, this was the income of government, the 100 rupees, right? But this, out of 100 he spent it 50 rupees, so this was the expenditure, right? But similarly this person will be giving 30 rupees to the labor, because labor will be constructing this. So for this person, this 30 rupees will be the expenditure, but these 30 rupees will be the income for this labor, right? So somewhere money is circulating in the economy, right? RBI gave money to government, but somewhere it is circulating in the money. So if people have money, so they will demand, right? There will be then excess demand. So that will cause the situation of inflation, like prices will be high because there is a situation of excess demand. Everyone getting the point,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
right? So see, I am in a problem. So I went to RBI. RBI gave money. And then I gave to this person. This person gave to someone. This person will be giving it to someone. Somewhere there will be lots of money in the economy. So there will be excess demand. And I told you, when there is lots of people who are demanding, then prices always there is a chance that there will be inflation, right? So yeah, just a minute. So yeah, so basically government cause inflation. So government resort to borrowing from the RBI to meet its fiscal deficit. It is done by deficit financing. This increases the circulation of money. Money circulation increase and create inflationary pressure if there is excess supply of money. Excess supply means if there will be lots of money in the economy, then there will be inflationary pressure, that there are high chances there will be inflation. Because when lots of people demand, then we bring inflation, and that causes the problem of inflation, right? So you can write this down. If you don't want to write this like hi-fi definition, you can write the government borrow money from RBI to meet its fiscal deficit. Instead of resort to, you can say the government borrows money from RBI, Reserve Bank of India, to meet its fiscal deficit. Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Others?
Yes, ma'am.
Done,
Done.
ma'am.
Now, next is financial burden for future generation. Now, what happened? See, for example, this is a man, okay, and this is his family. Okay, I'm just giving you the example of a family. For example, this person took loan from somebody else of 100 rupees. Right? He's paying. Somewhere, maybe, see, he was an old man. Okay, so somewhere, he's no more. Okay, so then what will happen? Automatically, that loan will be transferred to this person. Like whatever he borrowed, now his children have to pay. Right? This is happened. This happens. Okay, so basically, this is an example of a family, right? But what happened? I'll just tell you. In an economy, what happened? You already know that there's a government. For example, after every 5 year, government changes. For this is a government. Okay, this government borrowed 100 rupees. Okay, after 5 years, there's a change in the government. So basically, the new government will automatically, earlier this was paying, maybe he didn't pay. This government didn't pay any money. Automatically, this amount will be transferred to new government. Now they have to pay. So basically, what happened? Financial burden for future generation. That means the upcoming generation. So borrowing lead to burden for future generation as payment of loan and interest got accumulated, whose burden is to be borne by the future. Accumulated is basically get collected. See, what was happening? Interest rate was increasing. He took loan of 100 rupees, but interest rate was there. So every year interest rate was increasing. Now the loan is of 200 rupees because of interest rate, right? So now whose burden is to be borne by the future generation in the form of more tax and non-tax revenues. So they have to pay. Who will be paying this? This burden will directly go to the future generation. Future generation in the sense the upcoming government or upcoming generation. Okay. So because of fiscal deficit, this problem of financial burden for future generation takes place. Though this government didn't do anything, like they never even expended more, nothing. But because the earlier government took the loan, that's why they have to pay the loan now. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Everyone?
Done, ma'am.
Now, basically, what are the measures to reduce fiscal deficit? Okay, there are two measures. One, to reduce public expenditure, and one, to increase O. So, basically, these are the same thing, right? So, quickly write it down. I have already explained it, right? Everything is same. Because, see, I am the government. But the only difference is there are three types of deficit: primary, fiscal, and the revenue. Of course, the solution will be same. If this I'll be doing, fiscal deficit will be removed. So quickly you can write it down again. Why I am asking you to write it down again? Because you will be writing it down and then it will be clear for you. It will be a revision, right? You don't need to learn after that. So quickly write it down, everyone. Okay, so basically two things are there: reduce public expenditure or increase revenue. How I will reduce? I will stop giving subsidies, or I will reduce non sorry non-plan expenditure, or what I will do, in order to increase revenue, I will increase tax rate and impose new tax. And I'll try to impose, what I'll do, I'll try to take money from the public sectors, or I'll do tax. So the people who were not giving tax earlier, I was not giving any focus on that. I was not saying okay, it's okay. But now I will tax invasion. I will try to control so that maximum people pay their tax. Okay, quickly write it.
Done, ma'am.